Hi folks, my name's Hisham. I'm a consultant psychiatrist in an NHS early intervention psychosis service. I work in Peterborough in the UK, and this is part 4 of a 5-part video series on what I try and do in the psychiatry clinic. And in part 4, I'm going to talk about working with uncertainty, emerging data, and change over time. So something that's an integral part of what we do is that we work with incomplete and emerging data. So you'll almost always have incomplete and emerging data about the person and the condition and the treatments that you work with. Okay. So the models and understanding that you have for a particular person need to be re-examined and revised regularly in the light of new information that you get, okay? So if we just think about incomplete and emerging data about the person, right? And you could have incomplete and emerging incomplete data or new data that emerges for various reasons. One, you may not have asked for some data. To the person, you may not have been ready to talk about certain aspects of their life and their experiences. Or you may not have made the person feel comfortable enough for them to talk about it. Or people may not be able to access the information themselves in the first place to be able to talk about it. This may take time, this may take additional work, this may take psychological work, this may take a certain degree of recovery to get to the point to be able to access information and then tell you about it. Some information may have been withheld for various reasons and may come to light over time from different sources. For example, when you finally manage to get to speak to particular family members or friends who you've not had a chance to speak to so far. And of course, illnesses evolve as people go through their lives, and time and treatments will provide you with more data. And of course, life changes, things happen to people. Now, about incomplete and emerging data about conditions and treatment, research is constantly ongoing, and new findings will revise the content and the certainty of previous models that we've had. And this is something that one needs to stay abreast of and revise one's own thinking in the light of new information that you have now about what particular conditions are like, or what particular treatments do, or how well they work. So given this, there's always a degree of uncertainty that one has to bear in mind, and the fact that things will also change over time needs to be sort of factored in, right? So if you're working with models and hypotheses, that means you're working with uncertainty. If you're working with incomplete data, it means you're working with uncertainty. But planning someone's future care involves making predictions about what will happen with their illness and treatment. And to an extent, you can only do the best you can given what you know at that point in time. But it's an integral part of the work that you do, that you will have to make some predictions about the way that the future might pan out for this individual in the medium to the longer term. So a key part of what you do is communicate and carry this uncertainty, but also communicate and carry hope for people. Now, in the final part of the video, I'm going to talk about advocacy in the clinic.